What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode 2 of the Life is Speedy Show podcast. Got another guest, special guest, my good brother Geno, aka the intro. Good to have you on the show, brother, man. You know what I'm saying? Geno is a friend of a family member, you know what I'm saying? My boy Joel. Shout out to Joel. For years, man, this guy, man, has been on the grind, man. Endless grind of trying to master himself first and foremost and master the things around him to, raise his frequency and his empire to an echelon that's higher than most people. He's 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
20, bro. 20 years old, and he got a lot of things going for himself. So I'm going to just let him do his little intro. Tell us about it. Tell us about you, man.
I go by Geno, full name Eugene Figueroa. A lot of people know me from Passaic High School, especially from all the people that you know. I lived in like 4 different areas. I lived in Patterson, Passaic, Clifton, Elmwood Park. I've been in Elmwood Park for about 5 years.
Yeah.
I have my own brand. It helps support and raise awareness towards mental health. Tudo brand, go follow that on IG.
Yeah.
I'm a realtor. I have been licensed for a little it's my first year in the business, so I've done a couple deals here and there compared to like seasoned agents that their first year in the business they haven't got anything done yet. So I guess you could say I'm doing pretty well, at my age compared to somebody that's like in college. I'm more how can you say? I guess I'm more advanced for my age than your average 20-year-old. I used to play football, play basketball. I mean, there's not really that much exciting
as it used to be, right?
Yeah.
I already know.
So
like, how was it for you, like, growing up, man? Like, you know what I'm saying? How was it growing up to where, like, it got you to this point, like, where you want to be in life,
I mean, I never really pictured my life to be where it is now. I grew up with my brother. He was the one that played football. He was the football one in the family.
Yeah.
So then I wanted to go and play football myself, and I just decided, when he gave me that phone call, just like, hey, like I'll play football too. So I started at 6 years old, flag football, and that's where my journey started. So I used to watch a bunch of NFL games. I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Who you like, man?
I like the Giants. I'm a
Giants fan.
Yeah.
Saints, man. Saints all day. We're gonna take it this year, man. Watch. But yeah.
I mean, I don't care. I'm not competitive at all. So people trash talk me, and I'm just like, all right,
whatever.
and they get mad because I'm not talking trash back to them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I always saw myself being in NFL. I always did all those like huddle highlights and shit like that to make sure it came out perfect for that one coach that would give me a shot. But I had too many injuries to even give myself that one shot. I mean, you have a lot of people. I know it's not an excuse, but you have a lot of people in this world that are lucky enough to be able to get the opportunity to be able to do so. But I came from a small school. My graduation class was about 180 students. So that's a very small class, and we had about 30 people on our football team. So 30 to 50, give or take. So it was kind of hard to be able to do so. I had 2 ACL tears.
Right.
I barely played my high school career of football. I played more basketball seasons than football games. So I mean, I had I had a good freshman year in college. I went to Susquehanna University.
Where that's at?
It's like in the middle of PA.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah, middle of nowhere. But it's a good business school. So that's one of the reasons why I picked it. I just didn't like the area, so that's one reason why I didn't stay there.
Yeah. So like being that you went through all of that, went through the football phase, got over that. Now you're in this phase of your life where you're doing like entrepreneurship. You're an entrepreneur now, young entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And you do real estate as well.
Yeah.
What advice would you give somebody like that's entering their field of expertise? Like what kind of advice would you give them, being that, you're in your field now?
I mean, you just got to do a lot of, self-education. Go on YouTube, Google everything about what you're looking to do. With me, how I got into real estate was me going on Google and what got me into real estate wasn't even me searching up real estate. I knew nothing about real estate, and this was within the last 2 years. Within the last 2 years, not 3, 4, 5. Like within the last 2 years. So it's recent that I knew about this, that this existed. I had no knowledge at all. Like I said, if you go on my podcast, I could tell you. I'd even admit to me not knowing a lot of stuff. Like my vocabulary is like a third grader probably could speak better than I can. But I'm growing, so that's the whole part of self-education. So it just all started with me going on YouTube and searching up how to get rich, right? So the first video I got, it was like a motivational video. So that's what pumped me up. And then the second video after that was a real estate investor. His name is Chris Crone. So I looked into that, and I was just like, oh yeah, real estate is where it's at. Yeah. So the next video after that was one of the people that I look up to. I did a post about him, Brian Casella. He's a real estate agent, top producing real estate agent in Orange County, California. Right now,
County is where it's at, man.
Yeah, so he got a Lamborghini his first 3 years in real estate. So that's what motivated me. The picture literally had a Lamborghini on the thumbnail for the YouTube page. So I was just like, yo, I gotta check this out. And then that's what sparked my interest in wanting to get started in real estate. So it took me actually a long time to actually get started in real estate because I didn't really know where to get started, and I felt that I wasn't ready to actually, just jump ship and just go full head of steam. Wow. I know you could always become, part-time, but whenever I do something, I want to go 110%.
Right.
So I just didn't have that actual drive and wanted to get it done. And you need a lot of money to get started in real estate. Not a lot of money, but you need to at least survive for 6 months, because that's how long it usually takes an average agent to get their first deal.
Damn.
So, I mean, I decided to go to school January of this year, the beginning of this year. I passed it. I got my license in July because, I ended up getting a new job. I was working at LA Fitness.
How was that?
I mean, it was fun. I ended up building some skills, like communication, sales skills, people skills. So, I learned a little something from there. I can't, bash it or anything like that. The job is a job, man. You know what I'm saying? I did it for the experience.
Right.
And now I'm a full-time real estate agent. So
yeah. That's what's up, man. So what did you, being that you say you're an advocate for mental health and everything, you have your own brand going on with that.
Yeah.
From that point of going through mental health issues and stuff like that, what did you do to get to where you are right now? How did you get through that? How did you push through that dark tunnel? How did you get through it?
I mean, I just woke up and smelled the roses. I was just like, yeah, I don't want to continue being this way. I was trying to figure out different types of ways to just get myself out of that position that I was in. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's some days I do feel like I joined back in the dark alley, but I always know that I look at the bright side, be like, listen, I feel this way now, but I know at the end of the day I'm gonna end up end up getting out of this. There's different types of ways to cope with that. So the gym helped me a lot. Sports helped me a lot.
Definitely.
I wasn't a big reader, but sometimes reading helped me a lot. This one book that actually helped me was The Millionaire Success Habits by Dean Graziosi. It's a good way of figuring out what your why is. So that's what helped me a lot, because I really didn't know what my why is. I didn't know why I was put on this earth. So when I read that, I was just like, it had me think what is my why? And I honestly think my why is to help other people. I have it on my wall right there. It says that I'm going to help millions of people, and I signed it. This was recently because
I see it.
I ended up doing,
looking right at it right now.
I ended up doing just a lot of thinking, and that's if I can help millions of people, then I'd be satisfied.
Right.
I mean, being in real estate, you can make a lot of money. I don't really make a lot of money right now.
We ain't there yet, but it's the baby steps.
It's just the baby steps, man. And I mean, even with that, I don't really care about the money. I just care about helping people, get where they want to be, which is being inside of a home, having a roof on top of their head,
Yep.
which is pretty cool. And then on the opposite note is that with mental health, I'm able to help people, just cheer them up with whatever post that I throw on the Instagram page.
Bro, do you know how much of a double-edged sword that is in a positive way? That you're a real estate agent, right? You have your license, you do all of that, you get people in the homes, but on top of that, you also are an advocate for mental health. So as you're helping people get into houses, you can actually coach them on life too, on how to, get their mind right. Because some people get houses, but their minds ain't right to be in the house. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's a good way, like that's a great like quality to have, bro. Those are good characteristics. Why do you like feel like people fell at their goals though?
Because they're probably like 3 digs away from touching the goal, and once they're 75% there, they just give up. Sometimes they don't really have the they don't really have the guidance that's needed to be able to give them that push that they need. Sometimes a lot of people, they rather just go by themselves through the motions, and necessarily you shouldn't, because you should always find that one person that's done what you did, because you'll be able to understand how the process works. Like me being a real estate agent, I didn't just jump in and just say, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna do real estate. I made sure I found successful agents that are on the same path that I want to be in, and I'm like the trails that they're going through, I'm following them too.
And that's a good thing. I'm gonna piggyback off that, because what you just said was basically learning through other people's trial and error, basically.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, most of us, we look and revere people that didn't have nothing to do with our purpose in life. You get what I'm saying? So when we do that, we lead ourselves down a slippery slope, and then we wonder why we fell at our goals. You get what I'm saying? That's because we're following the wrong people. If I'm a football player and I want to be the most successful football player, what am I going to look up? The most successful football player, Adrian Peterson, like people like that. I'm going to ask them the questions that I need to know. I'm not going to ask LeBron James how to be a running back. You get what I'm saying? It just don't match. There's no direct correlation between the two. So I understand what you're saying, man, And I don't know, man. I just feel like if you do that, that's one way you won't fail your goals. If you just know what matches. You get what I'm saying? That's the problem with a lot of people these days. They don't know what matches with what.
Yeah, I mean, but either way too, like, people can't be afraid to fail. You have to learn to love failure, and that's what I'm starting to learn.
Yeah.
Because I hate being rejected. I hate, knowing that I failed. I hate just being told no. And with that, like, once you learn to just adapt the ability to just love losing, you just end up becoming more successful. Because every successful entrepreneur has failed millions of times, but they didn't actually fail. They just found a wrong way of doing it.
And failed. You know what I'm saying? First attempt in learning, man.
Yeah.
If you look at failure, it's just the first attempt in learning. And when you do that, you really, people put a negative connotation on fail. You get what I'm saying? Because when you fail, you don't get what you want. You might not get what you want at that exact time, but you're going to get what you want. But right now, it ain't the time. The universe is telling you it's not your time right now for what you want. So, of course, you're going to fail at it, but you got to understand, man, when you fail, it's the first attempt in learning, which means you just planted a seed for it to grow. You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing with people. Most people don't understand that you got to fail your way to what you want. When you fail your way to what you want, the fruit going to taste better when you eat it, when you get there. You can't eat the fruit the same day you plant the seed. So I understand, man. Like, right now, like, do you feel like, what are your plans for the future? Like, what are your plans for the near future? What are you trying to, like, really, like, accomplish right now?
I mean, within the next 5 years, I want to be a multimillionaire. I want to be a top producing agent. I want to have a couple more businesses. I want to open up my own gym.
Right.
And it's just gonna be based off the mental health brand that I have. I'm not gonna get too much indefinite to that, but that's what it's gonna be. And I want to be able to travel. Like, at first, it's crazy because I hated traveling, and now when I ended up going to Dallas by myself, 2 months ago, I loved it, and I was just like, yo, I want to start traveling more. So, like, that's when I ended up just looking at flights and stuff like that, just to get a better picture in my head. I'm just like, yeah, I want to start traveling. And then I looked at on all these people that travel. They get paid to get, to just to just travel.
Travel, man.
So I was just like, yo, this is pretty cool. Like, and then I'd be able to just do work from home. I want to be able to be like a lot of successful real estate agents. They have their own teams. So I want to be able to build my own team. I want to be able to help people. You know, I want to turn people into monsters. You know, I want to get everybody into an entrepreneur mindset because I feel everybody has the potential to become a successful business owner. They just don't know how, and they don't have the right guidance. Like I said before, they don't have the right guidance to be able to do so. There's so much potential out there for these people, and it's sad to see a lot of it go to waste. So I want to be able to make that impact on people, which is why I'm doing the things I'm doing now, even if I'm not successful, because I want to be able to give people that push. There's a lot of people out there that are probably, you know, there's people that are younger than me that are so hungry they just don't have the guidance that's needed.
Right.
And that's the word of the day, guidance.
Yeah, guidance, bro. Guidance, because a lot of people don't have it, and when you don't got it, you can't go nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, it goes a lot for the minorities, too, because, you know, a lot of us not successful. I mean...
Because the guidance factor, man. That's what he said. The word of the day is guidance, and that's crazy how I think. Because I've been thinking about this, like, for the entire week, like, why most people fail? And you said the word. Like, why? What's the reason behind it? It's the guidance factor. You don't have guidance. Most people don't have the mental fortitude to see it through themselves. So they need a guidance. They need a guidance counselor. You know, the guidance counselor that we have in school and stuff like that? We need a guidance counselor in life. You know what I'm saying? It could be a book. It could be a YouTube expert. It could be a YouTube leader. Like, it could be anybody. But you need some type of guidance for you to propel you forward. So.
Yeah, I mean, on top of that, too, is just, you could know so much stuff, but all the knowledge that you have won't mean anything if you don't take action. Action is king, and it forever will be king, because if you could know everything in the world, but if you don't use that knowledge to be able to do something, then it's just meaningless.
Yeah.
You know, I got that. I piggyback that off of Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And I think about it every single day. Like, everything on my wall, I put a bunch of quotes on my walls. Like, knowledge is not power unless action is being taken. So if you're not doing nothing, you know, you're not gonna see the results that you want.
What's the point? It's a means to an end to have knowledge and not use it.
You're doing all this reading, all this research, and you're not taking the necessary steps to be able to get to where you want to be. So
knowledge is cool, but applied knowledge is power, man. That's the real power right there. Applied knowledge. You gotta apply what you know, man. That's how you spread your seeds around. That's how all your garden gonna be filled with everything. But you can't hold it back. You gotta apply. You gotta spread it out.
Yeah, man, you gotta have that drive. If you don't have the drive, then what's the whole point of doing what you want to do?
Man?
You know, a lot of business people fail because they don't really have the drive to be able to do so. I mean, they don't have the guidance, the drive. You know, they don't have the knowledge, the ability to take action, the willpower. So you gotta have at least one of those to be able to get you started. I mean, you're not gonna start off with all of those.
Nah.
It's very rare for you to do so. I never had the willpower until I actually decided to, you know, get some knowledge in, start reading books, because you'll always pick up nuggets from every single
person.
Yep. So.
Every single knowledge outlet. That's how I look at it. I use the word knowledge outlet because honestly, most people it could be anybody. I don't care who it is. If I like what you're saying, I'm taking it in and I'm using it. And I'm gonna tweak it to my own advantage. You get what I'm saying? And that's the thing about information, man. You can use information for anything. You can gather information from anybody and just tweak it to your own philosophy. You know, and you mix it up and you do what you do. But yeah, man. Yo, we're gonna wrap this one up. It's been a great podcast, man. The second one is in the books, man. This guy right here is a legend in the making, man. Walking and living legend right here, man. My guy, Geno, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going to come to y'all with another episode next week. I got y'all, man. Just remember one thing. Life is speedy.
Welcome to the intro.
So go, baby. You heard? Peace and love.